Hey guys, it's Cauliflower, and I am making this video today as a follow-up to the end of my Vlogmases, which means that it is the end of 2016, and this video was a long time coming. So, just to let you guys know, I have tried several times now to make this video without trying to say too much or, cry or what have you, but you know what? As the person that I am just going to do whatever it is that I feel, because I feel for this year of 2016, it's been a roller coaster ride of just worrying about how I'm going to affect people or how I'm going to offend people. So, with no apologies, with very little explanation, I'm just going to have this sit-down conversation with you, and just let's see where it goes. Okay, so as you guys already could probably tell from the way my videos were this year, or that there was a lot of time that went by that there weren't video uploads, 2016 was not the greatest year for Cauliflower. As it began this year, it was really difficult as far as after September of 2015, going into 2016, dealing with my father's passing. And then soon after that, in February, there was a pretty horrific injury that happened to my best friend, which I have chosen to keep off of social media. I've chosen not to discuss the details of how it happened or why it happened, to respect my best friend, and also because, bottom line, we were dealing with it, and it was a very sensitive issue and very sensitive topic. And even though through public scrutiny, through a lot of naysayers and, what have you, trolls, I guess, a lot of people were pointing the finger over here, saying that it was me that had something to do with it and that I did it to him or anything like that, and nothing could have been more false. The unfortunate thing is I did witness what had happened, and it was pretty upsetting, and so I didn't want to drag it out and make it into a content for video, as a lot of people will do. I just didn't think it was necessary to discuss on social media, and we were dealing with it. As much as I like to share my life with you guys, I keep a lot of things private. If you notice, I very rarely talk about what I do outside of YouTube. I don't really discuss a lot of personal things, or I try not to. This year it took more of a toll that I didn't want to talk about personal things because of a lot of things that happened online. Now, as far as that is concerned, I'm going to get into that later, but let's go through the personal stuff. So after my best friend's injury and going through that, then early on, right before the summertime, we lost my daughter's uncle very suddenly, and it was a very big shock. No one saw it coming. He died very quickly at a very young age. And again, it hit home and it hit our family. And things like this, when it comes down to your life and the people that are in it, when they're there one day, they're not there the next, it's an adjustment period, and it's something that you have to go through. There's some other, other things that affected me this year, big time. A lot of people don't like to discuss the way they feel about music artists, but I'm not one of them. And I took a really big hit this year, losing so many of those that I grew up with, so many of those that affected my life. And that had a very big impact, even though I don't talk about it, because I feel like a lot of people make fun of you because, it's like, oh, you didn't know them, or, you shouldn't react that way, they're just celebrities, they're just, they had this kind of a lifestyle. To me, that doesn't matter. What they gave to me in my life and the world of music is far more valuable than worrying about what their lifestyle was. And for me this year, even though David Bowie was a big shock, I wasn't a real big David Bowie fan, even though I did respect and liked a lot of his material. But for me, the biggest effect this year was Prince. And that was like the second coming of Michael Jackson's passing, because Michael Jackson, that was a very hard thing to accept. But Prince, I never saw coming, and it was really hard. It was really hard to lose somebody so magnificently brilliant and who gave so much to the world of music and just opened up doors. And just, he was a big part of my music life. And of course, recently it was George Michael. This one is hard as well because I, as a teenager, you grow up with crushes, and George Michael was one of them. And I mean, I knew about him and all that. It didn't matter to me, just like Boy George didn't matter to me. All that mattered was the happiness and the music and just the fun that he provided in my life. And on Christmas Day, to find out that he is also no longer with us and at such a young age, I can't even begin to tell you the effect that it's going to have, because slowly I am seeing the very ones, the very icons that I grew up with, that I fell in love with, that I learned so much about music and so much about myself and grew with. And it's almost like pieces of you are taken away each time you hear somebody you like or loved or revered or worshiped passed away. It's still a death. It's still a loss. So it has an effect. And it might not seem normal to most people. It might feel like, oh, well, they're just celebrities. But to me, they were more than that. To me, they were people that touched my life, that touched my heart, that made me look at life a different way. And losing them was really hard. And I don't discuss that. I don't discuss it because, like I said, just the fear of being ridiculed, the fear of people saying, snotty, stupid things. And, everybody has somebody they look up to. Everybody has somebody that they enjoy and that they love. And when they die, it's like a piece of them goes with them. And that's exactly how I feel about all of the musicians that passed away this year. And of course, some of the actors and, all of the actors and actresses that have passed away, especially recently, it's Alan Thicke that died suddenly, and Florence Henderson, and now Carrie Fisher, as of today, is no longer with us. And it's just so hard. It's just so sad. And I feel like 2016, it has to be, hands down, the saddest year I've experienced. I never knew a year to be this upsetting or disappointing or chaotic or just, and then the social media aspect of it. And that's where I guess I have some explaining to do. I know a lot of this year I fell behind with making my videos. I really didn't put 100% of me into them. I had some gleams of good stuff here and there. But for the most part, I just felt like I was coasting through them. I didn't really feel like I was really there as much as I have been in previous years. I wasn't enjoying it. I wasn't having as much fun as I always did with my subscribers. I wasn't doing as many giveaways. I wasn't doing a lot of interaction. I wasn't blogging at all. I left all of that behind. I stopped doing, the reviews I needed to do for companies. I stopped doing the responsible things you need to do to keep your channel going. I mean, like I said, I did the bare minimum to get through, and I was so disappointed with myself that after a while I didn't know what direction I wanted to take or where I wanted to go with this channel, what I was even talking about anymore, or why anyone would take any advice from me anyway, since I was such a mess. So, without even announcing it, I pretty much took a break from YouTube, even though I was still kind of doing other things. I really wasn't there for you guys, and that I am so sorry about. And nothing was more important to me than having my channel, having my supporters, but my channel being this little family that it is, where it's my family to yours, whether it's just, unboxings or Friday freebies or reviews or hauls or talking about topics. I mean, I completely stopped doing collie chats, and that had a very huge impact on the way I did things as well. All I can say about that is that you live and you learn. Sometimes you have to realize the things that you allow in your life are not always so good for you, and I allowed a lot of toxic stuff, toxic people in my life this year, especially on this channel. A lot of it without explanation. There was no real, no real way to explain it. I had videos that I had made over certain subjects, but I took them down because I just didn't want to be considered what people thought I was going towards, which is drama channel, which has never been, will never be something that I would ever do. This is never going to be a drama channel. What this ended up being was a drama reactive channel. This is a conversational channel. My channel is not only relegated to certain things, it's conversational. It's things that are appealing to me, appealing to you, and sometimes it's not appealing to you. But I think it needs to be talked about. I'm a person that needs to converse. I'm a person that needs to get things out in the open. I'm a person that needs to have one-on-one. And I need to be open and honest. And even though you might not feel that I've been as open and as honest as I usually was in the past, I have been. I haven't strayed away from that. I might have fallen down a dark hole for a while, but I'm slowly climbing back out of that dark hole. And I have realized a lot of things, and I know what a lot of things looked like. And it's why I didn't do a lot of videos. I could have done a lot of videos in relation to what I was involved in, and I chose not to. Going forward and going ahead, I am going to say that in the end of all of this, there are some people I met that I genuinely think are great people and that are worth having around. And I've met some really great people that have started to follow me that didn't even realize that I had a channel. And I think that going into 2017, if they're willing to stay on board without any of the drama and chaos, then I'm happy to have them. For those of you that have been following me before all of this, if you stick with me in 2017, I promise you it will all change. It will all go back to the fun-loving cauliflower that you're used to. And, you know, even the controversial cauliflower that you're used to. I enjoy and miss doing all of the collie chats, even when we talked about things that were a little bit cringeworthy. It was still so much fun to just do those things because I have a partner in crime and somebody that I value so highly in my life. And the same thing goes for, you know, sharing my life, my family, things like that. I do miss doing those things. I just had to put a halt on it because of some of the misfortunate events that were happening in 2016 along the way. You know, you guys were told about some stuff that had happened, trolling wise, harassment wise. I can go on, but it really doesn't matter anymore because those things will not be continuing on my channel. Going into hangouts, which I was doing a lot of this year. And I kind of think there's a twofold with that. I think it's great to do hangouts to relate to your subscribers and your followers, which is always what I want to do. I want to sit there and have fun and enjoyment with my followers and subscribers, and I want to talk about things you guys want to talk about, and I want to talk about things I want to talk about, and I don't want to keep it scurrying around the same topics or scurrying around the same toxic people, because it'll never change. And as far as I'm concerned, it may be great for a conversation. It may be great for comparison to what people like that do things online are doing to what I'm doing. I don't want to be in the same boat with. I am going forward again on my own, doing what I want to do. And the hangouts that I will have, if I have them, will be less frequent than they have been, but they will be more towards just enjoyment and not more about talking about the drama that happened that week or, you know, something to that effect. I know I've used that as a platform to hash out certain situations or to vent out certain things, and it has been a good thing too, as far as that's concerned. I know a lot of you have said that you enjoyed them, have said that you felt that my hangouts were not closed off, that I didn't judge you, and I don't, and I still will remain that way. I don't judge anybody for who they like. I don't close off anybody for having an opinion that's not the same as mine. Everybody has an opposing opinion. I just think that we all need to go into the new year dropping all of the vices that we've had along this entire year of 2016. That includes me. I'm dropping the vices. I'm walking away from the toxic people that I need to stay away from. I'm embracing the people that I've come to like. I'm going to try to open up again But I'm going to be careful this time because, again, you live and you learn. You open up so far up that, you let all the wounds expose. And I think I did that this year. I just wanted to open up again, but I didn't know that all of my insecurities and my wounds would be opened up for me, even if I didn't want them to. So, with that being said, here's to a very different 2017. Let's not look back. Let's keep looking forward. And if you believe that we all have a chance, we all deserve second chances, then I hope that you'll give me a second chance. I know a lot of you gave up and thought that I was going a different direction, and I wasn't. So if you believe in second chances as I do, you'll stick with me going into 2017, and we'll try to just have as much dorky fun as we possibly can, and just try to keep our heads above water in a very sinking ship that this has been. So with that, I say Happy New Year to you all, and hopefully I will see you in the coming New Year. Thanks, guys.